Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay, this one is going to be grammar in Unit 4. Of course, this exercise is going to be in your workbook. It's going to be on page 40, as you can see. And we are going to use the vocab that we took on Thursday. So it's a conversation between Sue and Kathy. So what are you doing tomorrow at 2 p.m.? I will be in the library. Forget the library. Come check out the final episode of Our World with me. Kathy said, "A game show? Are you serious?" They what? They bug me. What is the meaning of bug here? Meaning I don't like it. It annoys me. Oh, what? She said, "Come on." And of course the spelling is different and everything because slang language. They are great. I get a kick out of them. Meaning what, ya حلوين? Meaning I enjoy. Okay. You are such a what? Couch potato. No, I am not. I do other things. You don't have to be all mean. mean هنا بمعنى لئيمة. Okay. All means very or completely. I'm sorry. So what do you say? Want to watch it? Nah, meaning no. Okay. Now, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, in the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful. Today is Sunday, the 4th of Rabi' Awwal بمشيئة If we're going to start our grammar with Allah sent Prophet Muhammad to the world, and I'm going to ask you simple questions saying where is the subject in this sentence. You're going to say subject is Allah Jalla Jalalu is the subject. El verb is going to be sent. Prophet Muhammad immediately is going to be our object. Okay. And al-ayah al-karima is going to say وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. So in this case, what is the position of the word the world? So Allah is going to be what? El subject. Sent is the verb. Prophet Muhammad is an object. And it too, of course, is going to be preposition. Okay? Now pay attention what this one is going to be direct object, while the other one is going to be indirect object. So in this sentence, we have two objects. So I don't want you to get confused. So the first one is going to be direct object, and the second one is going to be indirect object. As you can see, also, we have a preposition. In which school subject, we talk about grammatical rules. Of course, we have two languages, and in all kinds of languages also. We have الكفايات اللغوية, okay, and we have also rules in English language. Today, our objectives are going to be very simple, but we have to practice so we can be perfect in the side. Okay, the first one, we're going to learn to use a direct and indirect objects. Number two, we're going to learn to use to and for before the direct object. Okay, now let's go. This clip is from your book. Okay, direct and indirect objects. The things I highlighted are the most important thing. I only want you to focus. So let's start with the direct object. He's telling us a direct object answers the question what or who. So every time you get confused, all you have to ask yourself two questions. What بمعنى إيش or ماذا. Okay. Who يعني من. Okay. So let's start with this sentence. He said John wrote the poem. Can you imagine? So John is going to be what? John is going to be what? John is going to be a subject. Wrote is going to be the verb. The poem, what did he write? Well, what did he write? So what? The answer is the poem. So immediately it's going to be my direct object. So every time the answer of what and who, the answer is going to be your direct object. But pay attention to example number 2. John likes his new teacher. So John is going to be the subject. Likes is going to be the verb. Who did he like? Who? His new teacher. So immediately is going to be my direct object. Simple as that. طيب, what if I have the same sentence but I'm going to expand? Now pay attention. John is going to be my subject. Wrote is going to be my verb. El poem, خلاص, we decided That's going to be our direct object. For is like to, it's a preposition. طيب, his mother. If you're going to answer, okay, the direct object, okay, for the indirect object. So every time I am going to use an indirect object, I'm going to ask myself for whom the action was. Whom يعني لمن. So for whom he wrote this poem. So the answer is going to be indirect object. So here in this case, for whom John wrote the poem, so the answer is his mother. So his mother is going to be my what? Sorry, it's going to be my indirect object. Simple as that. Okay, now let's go further and have examples. Jack, we said, he is the subject. Sold is the verb. The car is going to be what? The car is going to be what? Is going to be the object. What kind of object? Of course, our direct object. If I'm going to ask myself and say, what did Jack sell? So I asked with what? So if I'm going to answer with what? Whatever the answer here, okay, whatever the answer here, it's going to be my direct object. So his car. So I'm going to say the car is going to be my direct object. Simple as that. Okay? So a direct object answers the question what or who. يعني لماذا ولا بالعامي نقول إيش؟ Who يعني من. The answer of what or who immediately is going to be my direct object. Now here we're going to have the same sentence. So Jack sold the car. Now pay attention. We have two positions. This is position number 1 and this is position number 2. So Jack sold the car to John. So where is the indirect object? So I am asking about the indirect object. You have to ask yourself whom. يعني لمن. So ask yourself, where's the answer? Excellent, John. So John is going to be my indirect object. So where is the direct object? It's going to be the car. So my direct object. Now pay attention to this example. Jack sold John the car. Do we have preposition in this sentence? No, we don't have. So what happened to John in the second sentence? What happened to John? You can see John moved at the middle of the sentence. Before mean, before a direct object. طيب, is John here also going to be an indirect object? Of course. لا يتغير أبدا. So here he is going to be indirect. Also here he is going to be indirect object. Okay? So what did Jack sell the car to? يعني لمن? So the answer here, the answer is going to be my what? Indirect object, and it is John. ممتازين. Now, so again, I'm going to give you the rule. This is number 1 and this is number 2. Now pay attention. Number 1, John is going to be indirect object. So where is it? Where is the position of the indirect object in the first sentence? It's going to be a جميلتي after the preposition. يعني بعد حرف الجر to. Or for. Okay? Right. Case number 2, it's going to be Jack sold John the car. So where's the direct, indirect object? Is going to be before the direct object. So this one is going to be direct object, had a direct object. So it's going to be before, قبله. So we have two ways. The first one, after the preposition, اللي هو to or for. The second one is before the direct object. Simple as that. Here we said in the indirect object tell us to or for whom يعني لمن the action is done. In your daily life as a person or as a student, You like to communicate with others. Okay, so to make it easy for you, you have to know the importance of putting, or you have to know the importance for you as student to distinguish between a direct object and indirect object. So pay attention here. I served the chicken to my guests. The chicken is going to be my direct object. To is the preposition اللي هو الحرف الجر. My guest is going to be indirect object. So I am going to say what? If I want to make an indirect object before the direct object, I don't need to use to, صح? So I'm going to say I served my guests the chicken. It's correct. Now pay attention, the person here is eating the chicken. Now what if I did not understand which one is direct object and which one is not, which one is the indirect object? There's going to be a huge misunderstanding. Okay, so I served my guests to the chicken. يعني كأني هم اللي راح أخليهم الطبق for the chicken. Why? Because I did not choose the correct direct object. Okay, that's how important for you to know which one is going to be direct object and which is going to be indirect object. Why? Because we don't want to misunderstood what we are saying, or other people misunderstand what we are asking them or telling them. Right. In front of you here, I gave you 3 sentences and I'm asking you to point out a direct object and the indirect objects. I'm going to give you seconds to think, then I'm going to. First, number 1, she sent her friend an email. Where is the direct object? The direct object is going to be an email. Direct. But for me as a student, how should I know? I'm going to tell you something very easy. What if يا جميلتي, I stopped the sentence and I said, she sent her friend. Is this sentence complete? It's not complete, صح? So something is missing. Immediately, if you cannot understand this, معناته this one is going to be indirect object. Immediately. Now, if we're going back, okay, if we're going back, so this is another way to know that this is a direct or indirect immediately, okay? So it's going to be an email direct object. Why? لأني سألت نفسي أنا قلت إيش أرسلت لها? What did she send? سألت نفسي أنا. So the answer is going to be an email. So it's going to be direct. طيب, for whom? لمن? Her friend. So it's going to be indirect object. Number 2. Sally will help you with your housework. So Sally will help you. لو pretend that I am going to stop here. Is it correct? Yes, it is. So immediately you here is going to be my direct object. Okay? Got it? Bye. With your housework. Okay, so this one is going to be indirect object. Right, now let's go for the third sentence. He gave them a bag full of money. What did he give them? A bag full of money. So this one is going to be my direct object. So where is my indirect object? To whom did he give a bag full of money? To them. So this one is going to be what? Indirect object. It's all about asking yourself these questions. Now let's go to rule number 2, and this is a clip from your book. Okay? And we're going to pay attention to it carefully. Now let's go. Ali wrote a letter to Adil and told him about our trip. Ali is what? Ali is going to be my subject. Wrote is going to be my verb. A letter, excellent, direct object. To is going to be the preposition. And Adil is going to be what? The indirect object. Amazing job. But where is the position of Adil? Excellent. It comes after mean الpreposition. ممتازين. Now if I'm going to ask you another question, who is what? Who is receiving the letter? من قاعد يتلقى الرسالة? Of course it's عادل. Why? Because Ali is sending it. هنا المرسل. So المستقبل is going to be عادل. So of course immediately who is receiving the act is going to be the indirect object. When we use to, يا جميلاتي, there are some verbs that are going to help us to know that you're going to use to, not for. Okay? So you have to pay attention. So to, you should use, يعني verbs are in the sentence are going to help you, and you're supposed to choose to. طيب, so like for example, bring, confess, يعني يعترف, give, hand, lend, offer, pass, pay, promise, read, sell, send, show, talk, tell, and write. As you can see here, I use it in this sentence, so that's why we use to. Okay? But when I'm going to use for, يا جميلاتي, I use for if the indirect object is benefiting from some kind of help. يعني قاعد يستفيد من مساعدة من أي نوع كانت. So here are the verbs that you're going to see in the sentence. So when you see this, you are going to use for, not to. To make it easy for you, I want you to use to إذا indirect object يتلقى. Okay? For دائما فيها help. مساعدة. Simple as that. Now let's move on. Can you please pronounce this word for me? Okay? Now pay attention. He's telling you these verbs, يا جميلاتي, if you see them, like answer, cash, change, close, fix, open, prepare, pronounce, and translate, these we cannot omit till for. I have to have it. And of course, after a preposition for, we're going to have an indirect object. It's very important to know that. Okay, now. طيب, his parents are buying him a new cell phone. I'm going to ask you, where is the direct object? Amazing job. So this one is going to be my direct object. Where is the indirect object? Amazing job. Him is going to be my indirect object. Amazing job. Okay? Nice work. طيب. The preposition for, as you can see, it's not here in the sentence. There's no for. We didn't use it. Why? Because I moved, okay, indirect before the direct object. And of course, we mentioned that before. It's nothing new. يلا يا جميلاتي. I highlighted for you the verbs. And the verbs are going to help you to choose to or for. It depends. So when I say Adil is very happy, his parents bought him ولا for him a car? Amazing job. We don't need for with the verb bought or buy. A car for his graduation. They gave it. You have to go back and see give. Gave it to him the day he received his degree. They had all gone to the graduation ceremony, and when it was over, his father offered him a set of keys. Now this is another one. Will you keep some food to me ولا for me, please? Which one? For. ممتازة. Why? Because here I am asking for what? For help. Which is what? Keeping some food for me. ممتازين يا بناتي. طيب. This exercise in your book, and we did it all together, but I'm just recording. And each time we answered, I told you why. So for example here, why do we say for? Because asking for help, record. To here, why? Because the verb write. To here because of the verb confess. To here because keep. Okay, the verb. So you're going to look for the verbs to help you choose correct preposition is going to be for or to. So let's say here, make up for it, he got. Okay, لا هنا asking for help. Also help and help. Okay, sent. That's why we use to. Okay, طيب, and promise that he would never do anything like that to him. Got the idea? Simple as that. This exercise is so lovely because you're going to practice the two situations. Remember, the first one is going to be after preposition, and the second one, ya Jamilati, is going to be before a direct object. So here, he gave us a sentence that is crumbled, and he wants us to rearrange, نعيد ترتيبها. Both ways. So the first way, I said, I sent John the TV schedule. Where is the direct object? ممتازة. The direct object is going to be what? Okay, direct object. So John is going to be what? ممتازين, indirect object. And I can move John at the end after what the preposition. I can say I sent the TV schedule to John. So also John is going to be still going to be an indirect object. Nothing is going to change. Okay, and we did all these exercises together in class. And here is going to be the answers, ya Jamilati. Of course, here we said to because of the verb tell. For because I am asking for help. Poured. يعني سكب له الماء. Okay? So you have to pay attention when to use to and when to use for because of the verb give, of course. Okay? Offered. It's going to be to. Okay, now these are going to be also the other exercise, the rest of the exercise, so you can see. Okay, Jamilati, this is a work life sheet and we did it, and here was the exit card strategy, and I asked you to underline the direct object and the indirect object, and I gave you some time, and I was able to correct, mashallah, all of you, and did an amazing job. She asked me an important question. So where is the direct object? ممتازين. The direct object is going to be an important question. But if I want to be more specific, it's going to be what? لو كنت مرة أنا أبغى مرة بس الكلمة وحدها, so it's going to be يا جميلتي what? Question. Why? لأن الimportant هذه متغيرة. ممكن تكون an easy, ممكن تكون a short question, ممكن تكون a long question. هذه كلها متغيرة. مين اللي ما يتغير؟ الquestion هذا غير متغير. So I am looking for this one. هذا راح يكون الdirect object. طب where is indirect object? لمن؟ لو سألتي نفسك لمن؟ أنا سألت السؤال المهم لمن؟ Me. So this one is going to be my indirect object. I'm so proud to have you, Banati, because you did amazing job. Of course, I ask you, this one is going to be your homework, and inshallah tomorrow we're going to do it together. At the end, the key to success is to start before you are ready. Thank you, and you did amazing job.